Hello and welcome to Lünen in Germany, near Dortmund, to the north of Dortmund. And this is where I'm at the present. This is Reisemobile Hartmann, and this is the first attempt I've ever made to do a live broadcast. Now, the reason I didn't tell anybody about it earlier was because I assumed I wasn't going to do a reasonable job on it. And so it's an experiment. And if this experiment works out okay, then I'll try doing it more often. Oh, I see I've got 3 people here. I don't know how I'm supposed to respond, however, to questions and the likes. So I'm sorry, I must apologize for that up front. Now, what I want to do here is to actually take you around, show you some of the vans which are here. As I said, this is an experiment, and if this works out reasonably, then I'll do more. So Yowza from Flemgem is the first person ever to send a message on this. Now, to be quite honest, I did attempt doing something like this. I think it was in May, or yeah, it was the end of May 2017, three and a half years ago almost. And hello, Ian. And it didn't really work out at all. And so I asked a friend of mine who's also got a site called Andrew Ditton, and he told me to use the app. And so that's how I've managed now to get on to this now. Now, what I'm going to do... Oh, you're in Germany, Ian. Oh, it's great. Why not write that down? Is there going to be a raffle? There might be a raffle for not winning one. Hello from France, Nicola. Where are you in France, Nicola? And Vladimir, hi. And where are you? Write down where you're from, because I find that quite curious. That's quite interesting. Los Angeles, right? Well, I've been there, and I hope to be getting back to Santa Barbara one day. Hello, Annie. Wow, it's really early there. It's 3 in the morning. Oh, Saudi Arabia. What a great choice. Herrick, that's in Brittany, I think. Anyway. Portugal. So what I'm going to do, have a look at, I'm going to film this thing here behind me today. Actually, I did put a video of me talking in it, which will come online today. And Melbourne locked down. I'm sorry to hear that. Herrick near Nantes, yes. Okay, it's not quite Brittany, it's south of Brittany. Texas, oh great, like your videos. And also from Israel, hello. Lee. Hello, Alan. Hello. Yes, I can read Hebrew a little bit, and thank you. Oh, and somebody local as well. Right. So this vehicle here is the Dreamer, 534 centimeters in length. It's a Caplond, and I find this quite curious because in French, the word for motorhome is a camping car. And this is really a sort of a car, if you like, but I used this term in the past, and I must admit I did use it pejoratively. And but this is on a Ford Transit custom base, and so that is something I do find quite curious. Oh, in Osnabrück, traveling home to Alicante. Well, I'm quite close to Osnabrück at the moment. So I've got 2 people here from Israel, so Shabbat Shalom. And I know Israel now in a total lockdown. I got the message today. I see Australia as well, and I'm very sorry for this. Everybody on the lockdown, not being able to get out, and obviously also the worry about illness that many people have. And hello, Mika, dzień dobry, and. Right, so what I'm going to do today, I'm going to try and film this van here, because inside it's got this rather curious bed. So for those who don't want to sleep in the bed in the roof, which is up there, we can make a bed down here, which is down there. So anyway, I took a photograph having made it yesterday, but I think we're going to have to make it again to make sure we can do it properly. But and tried filming taking the bed to bits. Anyway, for those who don't really want something a bit this size, want something a bit bigger, we've got 1 or 2 other vehicles here as well. Well, so I'm not the only person wandering around, but I'm the only person filming. So this is Itineo. Hello, Miro. oh, I need your help to buy a new motorhome. That is going to be somewhat difficult to buy something new, because whereas there are new vehicles around, because of the situation with there's a very difficult. I mean, the waiting times are now really horrendous. So to get a vehicle from this year's vehicle, let's say 2021, not this year's, next year's, to get a 2021 vehicle is now really very, very difficult. So if you've got to do anything, you've got to buy a used vehicle. I've got one here behind. I've got a wide angle. The wide angle doesn't work on this way around. There you go. This thing here, 10 years old, 33,000 approximately. That's the sort of thing you really want to be looking at, I think, if you want to get a vehicle now. Of course, we're coming into the winter, and normally when we come into the winter, the demand drops. Logical, but not this year. The demand is, if anything, it's picking up, and it's the first time that I've ever actually heard of this actually happening. And yesterday, oh, very good, Ian. New motorhome, super. What is it? I'll see if I can get into one of these vans around the side. Because yesterday I put this one here up, this Discover. It's 102,000. Although, yeah, 100, I don't know how it's going to come out. 102,000. This thing here, 85. COVID is affecting used prices. It's, oh, Morello. COVID is affecting used prices, and it's affecting used prices. It's difficult to say, because when you deal with price, you've got to compare like to like. But I would say there's 15 to 20% increase in prices. The next major motorhome show, the one in Switzerland's been cancelled. The one in France, which should have been happening, I think, is this week, or maybe it was last week, that was cancelled. The one in Italy, which was did go ahead. The next major one is going to be in January in Stuttgart. However, there will be an event in Poznan, Poland, in 2 weeks' time, and there's one in Nadajin near Warsaw, Poland, in 4 weeks' time. But they're tiny events. It's not nothing compared to what happens in Dusseldorf. So really, seriously, the next major event is going to be in Stuttgart. But what attendance is going to be like, I don't know. But more to the point is, what is it going to be like for people who want to see new motorhomes, because some of the manufacturers may not be there. And it is also my understanding that Heimer may not be there. Heimer said it was cancelling all events, the entire Heimer group, which is the second largest group in Europe. And if we take it with the Thor, I think it's now the largest RV concern in the world. Now, they said they would not be attending any events at the end of the year, but I suspect that this may go on even further. So, or any motorbike shows. I have no idea what the motorbike shows. I don't know anything about them. Sorry. No idea. Right, good. So this is what, actually, I did I can't remember what I put up last night. No, I put this one up last night. Yeah, this is it. So you've got a two-person thing. Washroom at the back, but as this has just gone up, there's no point in actually showing it again. We're in Stuttgart on Tuesday. Yeah, but if you want to see the event, that's going to be a bit early for the event. The event starts in the third week of January. I can't remember the exact date off the top of my head, but it's more or less the 18th, something like that. Yeah, we'll go into this one here, this Winchester, if there's no one in it. There's one or two people wandering around. Let's see if anybody's in here. This is a rather attractive looking vehicle. They are 90,000 euros. Well, okay, they're offering 83 here, and oh, German layout at the back, and we have also a oh, sorry, it's probably coming out awfully. This. I think perhaps maybe I should just restrict myself to answering questions rather than try. Oh, maybe I can put it around the other way. We'll try and see if this works, putting it around like this. Oh, look at that. You can get a reasonable view of the vehicles in this manner. I'm fortunate in as much as here, this location, I have access to internet everywhere. Which, for example, the last place I was at was a great place to be, but I only had access in part of it. So, move over to used sales. Stephen asks. I'd like to do more on used vehicles. The trouble is, the first thing is there's not many around, and I try to, being as I'm in Germany, I try to actually find out where the best places to go. I mean, the best place for used vehicles is in a place called Sulzermoos, which is near Dachau, north of Munich, and there you have an absolutely outstanding array of vehicles, and you can see that in my videos I did from there. In fact, I only did a little bit. I'd have stayed longer, except it was freezing cold then when I was there. What do I think? Can you live in a motorhome until you die? Well, I don't know. Possibly that's going a bit far. I don't know. And good to see you too, Yong, who I think that's from Korea. So the name's Korean. Sorry, I don't know where you are. So there's another problem with used, which need to point out actually, because when dealers have to give some form of guarantee, and the guarantee, if you buy a used, there's so many things that could go wrong. There's so many things which are very difficult to actually see. You know, I always tell people to get a habitation check. A habitation check's going to cost around, I don't know, £300 UK. I mean, I don't know, at least I would have thought. And then, you know, if you're dealing in this and you have to check absolutely everything, well, then there is the problem of offering guarantees for the product. So you can understand why so many things can go wrong, that motorhome dealers aren't so keen on offering used vans, and or even specializing in used vehicles. I mean, you've really got to be very, very good with everything, and so that's why it's, I think people are a bit reticent. I mean, there are people who will take things on for that belong to others, and they'll take a commission for the sale, but they don't accept responsibility. And I think with motorhome, anything motorhome related, you must get a guarantee, because even if something comes out new out of the factory, then it's going to be there's something going to go wrong. So so it gives an answer to that one. Most of the, I've actually I'm in the process of filming these things, and I've tried doing something new, and that is to actually, rather than sort of just give, I tried now to sort of do things within 10 minutes, but what I'm 10 or 12, let's say, videos tend to go on. But I'm trying to do longer videos, and one of the advantages of being in a place like this is that I've got free reign, and I can really do things in far more depth, and I can try and get some of the more common questions answered. And that is something often I just can't do at all. So anyway, so that's part of it. I'll put myself back on. Good. I'll switch between cameras. There was an Android. There was an Android update, and so now you couldn't do this before, but now you can. Am I showing the vans classified as B plus? In the United States, there's a way of A class, B class, C class, which is, I think it's somewhat illogical, because it doesn't sort of get bigger from the A to the C, or get smaller from the A to the C. And I find interpretations to be somewhat difficult. Now, I studied linguistics at university, and one of the things you did was actually try to find interpretations for words. And so I'm giving a legal answer, and the legal answer I'm giving is to say I don't really know what's an A class and what's a B class and what's a C class. That's why I use my own terminology. And so if we take something, for example, like this Dreamer, that is clearly a camper van. I'm going to turn it around so you get a better view of it. That is a camper van. It's using a camper van body. So you've got the Fiat Ducato, and it's just been changed. This one here, this is an Itineo, both made by both Rapido companies, and this Itineo here has the body of a its body's been built. So you've got the engines down here somewhere. This is what's called an integrated. You cannot see from the outside at all what the original the chassis is. Whereas if we come over here, and you can see that one there, now it's a Fiat, and you possibly can recognize, but this front bit here is the same as if you saw a Fiat pickup, a Fiat van somewhere out in the street, then you can recognize that as being a Fiat. Let's see if there's a Fiat out in the street, which is a no, there isn't, but mine's a Fiat, but mine is older, so it looks a bit different. So this thing here is a semi-integrated vehicle. That's an integrated. That's a camper van. But now let's come around here to talk about one I started off with, which is this one here. And whereas this is really a camper van, but I'm thinking of redefining this as a camping car. But that's unfortunately going to be a little bit difficult because in French, the word camping car, as I said earlier, means any type of motorhome. I don't know if I've answered the question there. So, because these are definitions I can clearly understand, whereas in A class, B class, C class, it means less to me. Unfortunately, on this live broadcast, I do not have. Yes, the camper van is a B class, but I was saying there. Unfortunately, I don't have the wide angle on the live broadcast. So, okay, so this thing here is a B class, but would you consider this thing here to be a mini camper? There's an excellent word, Jasper. Well done. And you would appear, I don't know if you're from Netherlands or from Germany, but yeah, a mini camper is a good word, though I don't think that's something which is based on the Ford Transit Custom, because you see it is still quite chunky here at the front. If I can class that as a mini camper, I see a mini camper as being these things I have in Japan, but okay, fair enough, that might actually work as a word. You know, I should have studied law really, because I think I'm quite good on the definitions front, but it never occurred to me at the time. Yeah, I'm going to show you the back of this van here now. I find this. But what I see with this is when I was driving around in a car, I was driving around in a Mercedes. I had 190D, a fantastic car. I'm still driving it now, and it would be well over 30 years old, and it would be 30 if I hadn't started buying vans. But this, with a very similar footprint, okay, it's wider, but similar footprint. But you've got here, you've got the toilet there, you've got a fridge there, and you've got a bit of a cooker there, in 4 bell positions, and you can make a bed downstairs. To be quite honest, for me personally, I couldn't care less about the tent in the roof, because a tent is a tent, and it's not much fun in the winter. But in the summer, I want to sleep below, down there. And when the bed comes out, you can't sort of. I suppose you can use the toilet. You can get to the toilet. You can't really use the kitchen very well because it's so big. Have I seen any towable small camper? Towable things. Well, I don't know if you mean something like this. This is a caravan here, for example. I quite like this one here, and we've got there's other caravans as well. Caravans are easier. I had a look inside this one, and I thought it was quite good. I thought, oh, that's. But the trouble is with the towable thing is it's difficult with the parking because if you've got even this camper van, sorry, this caravan here is 6 meters. You've got the towable bit there, so that's going another meter. That's 7 plus your the towing thing. That's going to be a 5. So you're left 12 meters. So 12 meters, you could buy, you could have a Morello or something like that, a Concorde or something, really big, and that for me is the problem. Also, the restrictions on caravans are far greater than they are on motorhomes. There's places that motorhomes can go which caravans can't go to. So that I think is the problem on that one. And why don't I sort of go into a van and then sort of from there, I've sort of taken you around a bit what we've got here. I'll go into one, sit there, and I don't know which one's the top of the line one though, and maybe it's this Winchester spelt without an H. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for watching. No, I'm not going in there because someone's in there. I won't bother them. I'll go and sit in this one instead. This Maggie stand. What's the cheapest moment? What is the question? What is the cheapest motorhome? Cheapest motorhome. There's companies manufacturing in Italy, such as PLA, such as Giotti, which is the same thing, which are very, very cheap, about 40,000 euros, something like that. But the thing is, you get what you pay for. And I would have to say that I wouldn't recommend going for something which is ultra cheap. The best thing to do is to get a vehicle which is used, and that's what I would suggest. Last week I was at a company called Ahorn, and in Germany, and these are relatively cheap, but the level of quality compared with them to the Giotti line or Miller or PLA is, in my opinion, it's much greater. So, and it's got certainly also the vans have a certain amount of character to them. When I say a van's got character, obviously this is it's a personal thing, and I think this van I'm in now here, this has got a lot of character. I'll just turn it around and show you why I think it's got character. I like it's got a design character to it. It's got style, some along those lines. I mean, obviously, I appreciate it. Not everybody can afford the most stylish Bischoff, and but that, as a general for style, you'll get it from something on this nature, which you won't really get for the the cheapest. But more to the point is this: cheap vans, they're not going to be well insulated. There's a reason why they're cheap. They have to do things in a cheap way. And if you're only going to use it in the summer anyway, then what you need to buy the van for? You may as well just rent it. It's cheaper, because at the end of the day, the cheapness is there's a reason for it. So anyway, so I got a message there thanking me for I didn't see the name for being here during the day. I try and do this more often now that I know how it works, because my last attempt was a failure, a complete failure. I just couldn't get online. And so one thing I can tell you though, where we're at now. So this is Lünen, and from here I'm going to go to Paderborn. From Paderborn I'm going to Bielefeld, and I wrote to a place in Munster, and that's not Münster, which is not so far, but Munster, which is in the north. It's south of Hamburg, but they never responded to me. So if I don't go to Munster, then I will go to the area of Helmstedt, which where the former border was, East German borders. I'm interested in this type of thing, so I'll go there. And from there, I'm going to go to Magdeburg. Then I'll be in Berlin. And at this juncture, I'm not certain of what my route's going to be. I want to be in Warsaw on the 17th of October. I think it's the 17th. I can't quite remember off the top of my head. So I might manage. But so what I'm trying to do during this trip is to actually do as many do vans in more detail, and then I'll see how it goes for time. And I don't like really driving when the weather's bad, but I don't like really driving more than 300 kilometers in a day anyway. But anyway, so I'll see how it goes. Right, so I've been rabbiting on now for nearly half an hour, and so I'll leave it open for a couple more minutes. So if you've got any more questions, I'll then answer them, and I'll try and answer them. This is it's quite a nice thing to do. I mean, I noticed the thumbnail that came up was pretty horrible, and it said "smile for the thumbnail," and I was sort of looking at it, trying to work out what was going on. So the thumbnail came out rather badly. I might change the thumbnail as a result. So I'll just now, I'm going to walk back. Leave this van here. You know, I do try to do requests as much as possible. Sometimes people ask me impossible requests, like can you show me vans which don't either I have no access to, because I've got to have access to the vans, otherwise I can't show them. Sometimes, you know, at trade fairs as well, sort of, you get kicked out. You may have seen some videos I've left things in when I'm getting kicked out, or they're moving me on, or they can't be bothered, or they want to go home, or something like that. And that is why coming to a place like this is really good. I mean, it's only I suppose it's a comparatively small dealership, but they have a very good market position, and it's as a company, it's pretty big. It's been in business since 1863. They do removals, for example, so it's a transport type company. There you go. So I'll stick the thing up behind. You can see what's going on. The motorhomes started, I think, around 30, 40, I've forgotten now, 35 years ago, something like that. And good. And oh, so he was Asma Sharif wrote to me. So Asma, with a name like that, I presume it's somewhere in the Middle East. And because names don't mean anything, my name is absolutely Anglo-Saxon, and I am now in Germany. So that's answered that one. The question: should you consider left-hand drive even though you live in the United Kingdom? The answer to that question is yes, you should, because in the UK, I think it's something like a quarter of all motorhomes are left-hand drive. Anyway, if you're intending to use it in places where the people drive on the right, then definitely get it, because in the UK, I've got to say that the standard of driving in the UK is actually quite good compared to other countries. The best driving I've ever seen anywhere was in Ireland. And though I need to point out at the same time that I think it's in the UK maybe it's getting worse, and in other countries it's getting better. So, but I would definitely consider it. Furthermore, it's going to give you far more choice. I saw a Rapido van at Dusseldorf just now, and that was exhibited, a luxury van but with a right-hand drive, but it had the door on the right as well. So in other words, it's I'll demonstrate using a van from here as here, right, left-hand drive, so the door goes on the other side. Door goes on the other side. Let's go and see the door of this van just to make the point. There you go. There's the door. So that means that if it's a right-hand drive door, but the door's on the same, it's on the roadside, do you really want to sort of have to get out on the roadside? Possibly not. I don't know, but you might do. Now, if you buy a left-hand drive car, then you're also going to be on the roadside as well, because it's going to have the door on that side. So I said possibly not. Think about that one. So I've given you both ways. It's not the biggest problem in changing, because I've driven left-hand drive vehicles nearly all my life. Incidentally, it was the 30th anniversary of passing my driving test 2 days ago, which I only remembered in the evening. I find the biggest single problem is changing gear, because your hand will automatically go for the will go to the your right hand. You want to change gear to your right hand. I was driving my friend's car, and he even said to me, "Alan, put your mind in gear." And at that moment, as soon as he said, even though I wanted to change gear, reached out with my right hand. So that's the hardest single thing. I personally think, I don't think, you sort of get used to it quite quickly, what side of the road you're supposed to be in. In any case, you're going to be driving slower anyway. So, sorry, just message from India. Sorry, I said Middle East, but I'm sorry, I didn't recognize. I'm quite good at languages and names and things, but anyway, but name, the person's name, it doesn't really show where they are right now at all. So, I think I'll have to leave you now. Thanks very much for being with me in this trial and attempt. Oh, I shouldn't have walked so far. I could have come out of range of the internet. Sorry, I was just going on and I forgot that the internet might actually have stopped, so the internet could have got weaker. So thanks very much for being here, and all the best here from Lünen in Germany. If anybody is on my route, which I sort of detailed there, do drop me a line, and I might come round. Thanks, and best wishes from Germany. Now I've got to work out how to turn this thing off. And maybe it's there.